Well, I'm coming to you today on the 21st of April from the Caribbean Sea, and today was the very first D&D Direct live stream. I had the privilege of listening to it, as many of you probably did. I have a number of reactions. My biggest surprise was just the amount of content that Wizards is putting together, and I had a realization: what if Disney buys Hasbro? Wizards of the Coast, D&D. They bought everything else I love. So we're going to talk about my reactions to the D&D Direct announcements. We'll also talk about Disney owning D&D. So the D&D Direct announcement had a lot of really great content. Wizards is putting out so much content. It's unbelievable. I've grouped a couple of the items that they announced, and we'll discuss them now. So they're putting together a number of shows. Legends of the Multiverse premiered a few weeks ago. This is a D&D play show. They're also coming up with, wait for it, an upcoming D&D movie. This will be Forgotten Realms and Sword Coast based, where they come to real life. This is supposed to be in theaters around March of 2023, so about this time next year, hopefully. Wizards is also putting together video games. There will be a new MMORPG called Neverwinter Dragonslayer that will be coming out on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Baldur's Gate 3 is due in 2023. Now, I've never been a huge Baldur's Gate fan, in full disclosure. I've always been a Diablo guy. But look, if you love Baldur's Gate and you love D&D and you love video games, the MMORPG or Baldur's Gate 3 in 2023 will be right up your alley. Wizards is also coming up with a board game. The game will be called Onslaught, a combat board game, and they're targeting this year around fourth quarter, sometime October, I believe. And last but not least, Wizards is putting together a load of new rules, tools, and rulebooks. There's a new D&D starter set that will be coming out with a new adventure. Digital tools will also be included. There will be a new D&D digital library with a monstrous compendium, volume 1. And this will include the Eldritch Lich and a lot of other things. And the latest books will now be available in even some European languages. So there's a lot going on around the D&D digital library. They will also be releasing case sets, both terrain and creatures, where you can carry them to your games and set up pucks or kind of cardboard cutouts of terrain and creatures. And there will be a Dragonlance adventure book coming out in the near future. Last but not least, let's talk about the two things that I'm most interested in that came out in the announcement at D&D Direct. The two most exciting announcements, in my opinion, are the adventure supplements that are coming out this year. The first of which is The Journey Through the Radiant Citadel. This is an exciting book because it presents 13 new adventures in 15 new locations or lands for levels of characters 1 through 14. So it's a diverse set of adventures. It was written by a diverse group of writers, which brings diversity to the authorship of Dungeons & Dragons like never before. This is going to be a really, really exciting adventure book. I can't wait to see it. It comes out in June, and I'm really looking forward to checking it out. So last but not least is the second adventure book I want to mention. That is my favorite announcement in this D&D Direct webcast, and this is Spelljammer. If you're not familiar with Spelljammer from previous editions, basically think seafaring adventures and pirates in space. So it has two of my favorite things in the whole world: sea and maritime adventures, and space. I'm a huge fan of the space program, having been born on the moon landing, during the moon landing of Apollo 11. And so I've always been enamored with space and science fiction, space novels and things like that. So this is a campaign setting. It's going to come in a complete slipcase with 3 books, a Dungeon Master screen, a double-sided poster. And these hardcover books are going to be amazing. There will be the Astral Adventurer's Guide, which is aimed at both players and DMs. There will be Boo's Astral Menagerie, which is a bestiary of creatures for the setting. And there will be the Light of Zaresis, which is an all-new D&D adventure. So this is what I'm most excited about, Spelljammer, and this will be coming out soon. It's supposed to be released in August. I think in July there might be a prequel adventure, but this is what I'll be keeping my eye on most in 2022 from Wizards of the Coast. Now let's talk about Disney buying D&D. So Disney owns everything. Okay, not everything, but everything I love they end up buying. ESPN, ABC, Lifetime, History, A&E, and FX, they're all owned by Disney. Muppet Studio is owned by Disney. 21st Century Fox was bought by Disney, which includes Nat Geo. Now, I love National Geographic since I was a kid. My grandfather had the magazines around the house, and I was able to get my family to buy me a subscription every year around Christmas time. Well, Disney owns Nat Geo. I loved Star Wars. I still have the soundtrack on LP. 1977 release. Records. LP. Long play. That's vinyl for you hipster kids. Lucas was the man. Now it's all owned by Disney. I loved Marvel. Okay, not as much as DC. I love the Lobo franchise, as most of you know. I collected Fleer Ultra X-Men cards with my kids when they were growing up. Check this out. I love Marvel. Disney is exploiting Marvel to its fullest extent. And now, just a few weeks ago, a game system? Really? Another game system. The Marvel Multiverse role-playing game is now in playtest. The mechanics look and feel an awful lot like 5e. So what happens when Disney sees Hasbro doing it better with D&D and Magic the Gathering? What happens if Hasbro pivots and buys DC to remain competitive? And then what happens when Disney takes over Hasbro and owns it all? Oh my God, DC, MTG, D&D? OMG! Well, this is all speculative. Disney owns everything. At least everything I love, they end up buying. I guess it's inevitable. Thanks for watching. Post any comments or questions. And don't forget to like and subscribe.